Hi, welcome to the ESL Path. I'm Katy. Today we'll look at those questions that are answered with yes or no. In particular, let's focus on creating yes-no questions from statements. How can we change each of these statements into a yes-no question? This might be difficult, even for advanced students, because in English, there are two different patterns for creating questions. What are those patterns? Here's an idea. Before I explain the rules, why don't we first watch these statements change to questions while skating across a beautiful mountain lake? So relax, watch the performance, and see if you can discover the two different patterns. Wow, truly amazing. I don't know when I've ever seen a skating performance like that before. So did you notice the two patterns? Let's look at it a little more slowly. With the first pattern, the subject, which is the noun before the verb, exchanges positions with the first part of the verb. Here's another look at that. As you see, the subject we exchanges places with should, the first part of the verb should take. With the second pattern, you need to add a new helping verb, either do, does, or did. And you also need to change the verb to its base form. Here's another look. Notice how the helping verb did is added to this question, and how the verb brought is changed to its base form, bring. So I bet you have another question. Yeah, of course. We need to know when to use each pattern. Let's look first at the types of verbs that follow pattern 1. First, the be verb, is, am, are, was, and were. Sentences using the be verb follow pattern 1 when changing into questions. Watch. Also, sentences with modals use pattern 1. Modals are those helping verbs like should, can, could, and may that add a special meaning to the verb. Let's take a look at this. As a side note, it's important to realize that not all modals can change from a statement to a question. For example, we can say, it might rain tomorrow, or it could rain tomorrow, to add a meaning of future possibility. But only could is commonly used in the question form, such as, could it rain tomorrow? Finally, all multi-part verbs follow pattern 1. This includes continuous tenses, perfect tenses, and passive forms. Let's check this out. So to sum up, the be verb, modals, and all multi-part verb tenses follow pattern 1. And what follows pattern 2? Well, actually, just 2 verb tenses use pattern 2. The first of these 2 is simple present. In this case, you add do or does, depending on the subject. When we add does, we also need to change the verb to its base form by removing the s from the verb. When adding do, the verb form is already the same as the base, so no change is needed. Let's see this. The other verb tense that follows pattern 2 is simple past. In this case, you add did and change the verb from its past form to its base form. Like this. So to recap, both simple present and simple past follow pattern 2. Okay, so those are the rules for forming questions. I bet you understand, but like with everything, following them correctly will take practice. So here's some practice. Try to change these statements into questions by following the correct pattern. Nicely done! And if you missed any, don't worry. With more practice, it'll become easier and more automatic. I have one last tip. Here's an easy way to decide between pattern 1 and pattern 2. Just think about the number of words in the verb form. With the exception of the be verb, if the verb consists of only one word, you should use pattern 2. Use pattern 1 if the verb contains more than one part, or if it's the be verb. So that brings us to the end of the path. If this helped you understand how to create yes/no questions, please like this video and subscribe for future videos. Other topics will include answering yes/no questions and creating information questions. Thanks for traveling with me today. See you again next time.